The Carolina Panthers hosted the Los Angeles Rams in Week 1 of the NFL season, and the Los Angeles Rams came out with a 30-27 point victory. And it was a tough game from top to bottom, sloppy on both sides from both teams. So in this video, I'm going to give position grades to the Carolina Panthers and break down everything that happened in the game. And we're starting right now. What up, dude? What's up, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. This is the channel where I might not tell you what you want to hear, but I'm definitely going to tell you what you need to hear and I give recap and analysis of the Carolina Panthers. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up, too, while you're at it. Make sure you hit the bell icon when you subscribe, too. That way, you get a notification every time I drop a video and you won't miss anything. But before we get into it, man, let me know down below in the comments what you thought about the game overall. Are you pretty much panicking about what we saw? There were a lot of sloppy play from Carolina. Cam Newton was pretty much off target a lot of times. The pass rush was lacking a little bit. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought about the game overall. But let's go ahead and just get into it, man. But before I get into the position grades, I just want to give a little piece about the summary of the overall game, put some things into perspective, because what I saw on social media from a lot of the fan base was really disappointing. And I know most people don't really know football in depth like that or know the league like that. So I just want to put some stuff into perspective, man. Like, this is week 1 of the opening season. And let me repeat that. This is week one of the opening season. And an NFL season is 17 weeks long. Not to mention the Carolina Panthers played the defending NFC Championship team, which meaning that was the best team in the conference last year. And they didn't lose a ton of players. They added a couple of pieces with Weddle and Clay Matthews. So they're going to be a very competitive team this year. Not to mention this is week 1. Not to mention the Panthers didn't really play much in preseason at all. Like the starters didn't at least. And you only lose by 3 points to the defending NFC champions. Even after you had 3 turnovers, you missed a field goal. You turned the ball over with the ball backed up in the 10-yard line, pretty much giving them points. 4 or 5 fumbles that laid on the ground. You really didn't have anywhere close to getting the ball when you had a chance to get it. Not to mention the refs shafting us with some made-up calls, apparently. So through all the BS, the Panthers still only lost by 3 points to the defending NFC champs. Not to mention the team that has the best player in the league, voted by his peers, Aaron Donald. You held him to 1 tackle, and you guys are panicking like the sky is falling when it's a tough measuring stick. But it's a measuring stick. We went against the best in week 1, so we know what we are. We know we have to correct. A lot of the mistakes were self-inflicted. I can live with self-inflicted mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Those can be corrected. It's when you just seem helpless against certain things that the other team is doing, is when you have problems. But if a lot of the mistakes are self-inflicted, that means they can be self-corrected, guys. Like, come on. Like, let's put things in perspective. Let's back off. But let's go into these grades, man. Quarterback, got to give it a C-. Cam Newton was off target a lot of times. I'm not worried about Cam. Some people are saying that Cam Newton is still injured. That sounds stupid to me. His foot, I'm not sure about his foot, but the shoulder is fine. Just because he only threw 1 pass beyond 20 yards is not a problem to me. Because that pass that he threw beyond 20 yards, he overthrew Curtis Samuel by like 10 yards. If you can overthrow a guy that's as fast as Curtis Samuel, your shoulder is fine. Not to mention, just because you can't throw that ball deep doesn't mean your arm strength is lacking. He has zip on a lot of curls and out routes to DJ Moore and to Curtis Samuel. So I don't see why people think that his arm strength is lacking. He showed plenty of zip out there, and I think his arm strength and health will be fine. Now, the accuracy is concerning. Obviously, he missed some layups, but at the same time, he didn't play that much in preseason, guys. Remember, he got hurt in that Patriots game, and that was pretty much the it for Cam Newton's preseason. Maybe, 8 to 10 plays total is what he got in that preseason game. So it's going to be some rust. Hasn't really let it loose since the last time we saw him, I guess, which was probably the Saints game where he was throwing bounce passes. Now he's overthrowing guys, which is a good sign to me. Like I said, Cam Newton will be fine. Whenever I see him missing Greg Olsen 3 to 4 times, that lets me know that he's just rusty. Because him and Greg Olsen's connection and repertoire and rapport, whatever you want to call it, is so deep that they know what they're doing before the stuff happens. So they're off sync. They're just off sync. There's no, like, Cam could throw the Greg Olsen in his sleep. So I'm not really concerned about that. It'll come with time. Running back, A+. I mean, Alex Armour even got in the end zone on a fullback dive. He got some running back time with Christian McCaffrey split out at wide receiver. But Christian McCaffrey is officially my favorite player on the team. This guy does everything. 200 all-purpose yards, 10 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Line up in the Wildcat to get the first touchdown of the year. He does it all, man. He's pretty much putting the team on his back until Cam can knock the rust off. I have no problem with that. But I just don't want to wear this guy down. We have some backup running backs that are young that we got that we can let play. So I say we give these guys some burn, but I got to give the running back position an A+. Wide receiver, I will give it a B+ just because for the opportunities that were presented to them, they did pretty decent. Yes, DJ Moore fumbled, but I'm not going to punch the whole group. It's great because of that. It's concerning, but DJ Moore was a leading receiver with 7 receptions, 76 yards after Christian McCaffrey, of course. But only 3 receivers caught a pass. Jared Wright caught 1. DJ Moore had 7, like I said, and Curtis had 3. Greg Olsen had a couple receptions, but it was off. So for the opportunity presented to them, I got to give the wide receivers their credit. I want to see more crossing routes and stuff like that, but I don't know. I got to give them credit based on what they did and what opportunities they could take advantage of, and they pretty much did. I think DJ will get his stuff together, but I do want to see Curtis Samuel more involved. You know what I'm saying? He had a monster training camp, so I want to see us put that stuff into action in the game field. So I'll give them a B+. Offensive line, I give them a B-. Only give them a B- because some of the stuff that I saw will come with more time. You know what I'm saying? They held Aaron Donald to 1 tackle, so you got to give them credit for that. This is the best player in the league, voted by his peers. Like I said, held him to 1 tackle. There was some miscommunications on the 2 sacks that they gave up. The 1 sack obviously was just a miscommunication because Cam was just holding the ball out, and that wasn't really a sack. It was a running play, but it is what it is. Other times, Donte Fowler came in scot-free. It was a stunt. I think Darrell Williams didn't really – him and Greg Van Roten, it's going to take some time. You know, Darrell Williams, he doesn't play much left tackle, so it's going to take some time for them to get that rhythm together. The thing about offensive line is all about continuity. Continuity is time put in together and playing together. They haven't pretty much played much time together because Matt Paradis is new, and, of course, Darrell Williams is new. So once these guys figure things out, I'll be okay with them. I know Taylor Moton had a holding call or whatnot, but they had 2 sacks. I'll take it for now in week 1. I think the chemistry is starting to build up more and more with this team. And not to mention, they blocked for Christian McCaffrey 128 yards. So I got to give these guys credit where credit is due when it comes to that. So I like what I saw from the offensive line on that standpoint. Defense. Let's talk about the defensive line, man. I'll give them a D just because they didn't get any sacks. I saw Gerald McCoy miss some plays. You know what I'm saying? I was a little disappointed in that. KK Short was the only D lineman that really has got his name in the paper for the most part and got involved a lot and made some plays for the team. But overall, the defensive line was kind of disappointing. I know we ran more of a 4-man front instead of that 3-4 we had been talking about all offseason, but it is what it is. Brian Burns, he had an impact play, of course, on the end around, making his presence felt. He got his first start, so he looked a little bit gassed too, because I don't know what really happened to him in the second half. He didn't get as much playing time, but they did have a decent rotation. It seemed like every other time that we tried to make a play, we were always a half a step behind from getting to Jared Goff. We did have him uncomfortable for the most part because we were hitting him, but we never really got him down to the ground, except the 1 sack by James Bradberry, and he's in the secondary. So I'm pretty disappointed in the defensive line from that standpoint. We'd have to get more pressure from what I expected these guys to do to make it easier on our secondary. So I give them a D. Linebackers, I will give them an A because Luke Kuechly, he should have had 2 forced fumbles, but the refs shafted us. But he had a forced fumble. Nobody was around to recover it. But he wasn't making as many huge impact plays as normal. He looked a little bit winded out there. It was the hottest game in Bank of America history. It was like 95 degrees, so guys were clearly gassed out there. Luke Kuechly pretty much played every snap from what I saw defensively. He's the only linebacker that did that. Shaq got a little break, but Shaq was really making an impact. I was very impressed with what I saw with Shaq in his first time being a full-time man at quarterback, at linebacker, with Thomas Davis gone. So he had some bone-crushing hits. He was all over the place making plays, doing his best Luke Kuechly impression. So, the product of the system may be that Luke make less plays and Shaq makes more plays. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as the plays are being made. So I like what we got from the linebackers. They were very active. And, of course, Jermaine Carter got the blocked punt. So I got to give credit where credit is due. He got some PT, too, in rotation, like I said, and some different formations. But linebackers, you get an A for me. Last but not least, the secondary. I give them a C+. Donte Jason was very active early on, making an impact, breaking up some plays. But he did have that pass interference on Brandon Cooks. But he messed with Brandon Cooks pretty much the whole day. Their fastest receiver. And he did a pretty decent job, I'd say. James Bradberry. He showed me something that I haven't really seen for him much. You know, I was knocking him for being a solid corner, but not being a playmaker. But he made plays. You know what I'm saying? That play, that interception he made was an awesome play. And too bad the offense couldn't really take advantage of it because that was a hell of a play. Momentum is crazy when stuff gets rolling because we finally scored. We get that turnover. That was our chance, but we go 3 and out. So it sucks. But I just think that the secondary did pretty solid from what I saw. I mean, we held Goff to less than 200 yards. This is the first time that's happened for him in 2 years? You know what I'm saying? So I like what we did from the secondary standpoint because obviously we didn't get much help from the front four. So a lot of those stuff was just pretty much pure coverage. So you got to like what you saw from there for the most part, from the secondary. But overall for the defense, Cooper Kupp pretty much destroyed us underneath. And the Rams, they do a lot. They throw a lot at you. They ran probably about 12 more plays than we did offensively. So the defense clearly looked gassed. The heat really got to us. But they used Todd Gurley in the second half to wear us down. I mean, we were wondering why Todd Gurley wasn't getting any goal line snaps, but Sean McVay is a good coach for a reason. He let Malcolm Brown kind of much pound and wear us down early on in the game, especially once we shut down Todd Gurley early on. But Gurley ended up with 97 yards just because they would crash down the line of scrimmage, leave Gurley one-on-one with a corner, and that's a tough tackle for anybody. James Bradberry probably missed Todd Gurley on a tackle 2 to 3 times, which were pretty costly. And that pretty much was what the game. They ran the clock out and bladed out in the fourth quarter. And we only ended up losing by 3. So I'm not too disappointed about this. We do have Tampa on Thursday on a short week. So we got a lot of stuff to look out for and clean up before then. But I'm not too disappointed. We took the NFC Champs to the wire. Only lost by 3, even with a ton of mistakes, ton of turnovers, ton of missed opportunities to make plays and get back in the game. So I'm not disappointed. The loss is a loss. It is. You don't want to lose. But it's a 16-game season. It's a 17-week season. This is only one game, guys. So let me know down below in the comments if I made you feel any better about the team overall, about the loss, if I put anything into perspective. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the team going forward. And are you worried, nervous? I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Ducker signing off from Necessary Blunt Sports Talk. I'll see you next time. Peace.